Walt Disney's second animated feature was released in February of 1940 and is considered by many to be one of his most influential films. Although the $2.2 million production initially bombed at the box office, 7 subsequent re-releases following World War II helped it eventually turn a profit, and today its total gross sits at a much more impressive $84 million. Like all of Disney's animated features, this approved rated narrative is based on a famous pre-existing work. In this case, The Adventures of Pinocchio, a children's novel by Italian writer Carlo Collodi, is adapted to the 4x3 frame in wonderful Technicolor by supervising directors Ben Sharpsteen and Hamilton Luske. The imaginative story follows a puppet brought to life by a magical fairy who, with the help of his cricket companion, attempts to prove himself worthy so he may transform into a real boy. Dickie Jones provides the voice of the titular character with plenty of wide-eyed innocence, while Cliff Edwards does a convincing job as the street-smart insect who acts as Pinocchio's conscience. He opens the film with the Academy Award-winning original song When You Wish Upon a Star, a beautiful ballad that has become an undisputed classic in the years since. His role as the helpful guide is far less impressive though, and honestly a bit superfluous, as he mostly just whispers redundant exposition of what the audience is already thinking. Meanwhile, Christian Rubb is featured as Geppetto, the elderly father figure whose late-night wish brings his marionette creation to life. What I don't understand though is why Geppetto is so shocked about a sentient puppet, even though he lives in a world populated by talking bipedal foxes and singing crickets. And what does this woodcarver do with his new son the very next day? He sends him to school completely unsupervised, even though the wooden boy has almost no understanding of how the world works. It's these contrived circumstances and unsavory characters manipulating our puppet protagonist that drive most of the 88-minute plot.
I'm going to school.
School? Ah, yes. Then you haven't heard of the easy road to success. No? I'm speaking, my boy, of the theater. Here's your apple. Bright lights, music, applause. Fame.
Fame?
Yes, and with that personality, that profile, that physique, why, he's a natural-born actor. Take it in.
But I'm going
Straight to the top. Why, I can see your name in lights. Lights 6 feet high. What is your name?
In the film's most enduring moment, Pinocchio is horrified to discover his nose lengthens every time he tells a lie, with his fairy friend reminding him, a lie keeps growing and growing until it's as plain as the nose on your face. It's a very overt metaphor, but a simple and important one kids should be able to appreciate. Combining elements of slapstick cartoon humor with some catchy musical numbers, the journey takes our characters from imprisonment in a traveling show to ransacking the decadent Pleasure Island. The latter includes some inventive and interesting animation, when Pinocchio takes a slow drag on a cigar. Indeed, some pretty risque stuff happens here that will likely disturb younger audiences, like drinking, smoking, kidnapping, property damage, implied death, and 3 utterances of the word jackass. There's also quite a few plot threads that remain completely unresolved, like whatever happened to those boys that turned into donkeys, or the villain Honest John, did he ever get punished? Anyway, the movie is a visual marvel, but the multiplane technology used to animate the feature makes the differences between the foreground and background far too noticeable. Backed by a pleasant and upbeat musical score, this is a must-watch for all families, at least once. Although the ridiculous events are rarely believable, the lighthearted adventure reminds kids and adults that sometimes your dreams can come true. This is a picture I enjoyed as a child, but until rewatching it recently for this review, I hadn't seen it in well over 20 years. Fortunately, it remains just as dazzling. Pinocchio may have a convoluted story, but its endearing characters and lasting morals make it a true classic, and a great film.